Okay. So any doubts from the previous classes?
No, live connection subject problem.
Mhm.
Live connection.
Live connection. So live connection is nothing but if you already have the model in service or SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services or Azure Analysis Services like that. If you have the pre-built model, yeah. If you have the pre-built model, so that can be anywhere like Azure Analysis Services or SQL Server Analysis Services or existing Power BI model. So what you can do means instead of recreating all the transformations or model and everything, right? So you can reuse the existing model. So that is the live connection. So simply we put the connection to the existing model. On top of that, we can develop our own report. It means separate set of report. So it means we are not using the existing report. So we are just using the model. So earlier already we have developed the models, right? So using that model, you can develop a separate report. It means a separate visualizations or separate set of requirements. So changing that environment like however you want. So if you have that, it means thing is for two reports, if you have same tables, instead of creating two models, you can create one model and you can put live connection to that and you can use the new report. I mean, you can create the new report out of the first one. So that is how it is. Just to reduce the efforts, we can use the live connection. So to use the live connection, it's like we go to get data and then the first thing like we have to log in with our credentials. So then it will be connected to our Power BI service account. So if you click on the semantic models, it will list out all the models which are there in your Power BI service account. It means whatever you have access, right, or whatever you have published over there in all your workspaces. See, these are all the locations. This means the workspaces. So I have two workspaces and I have two models here. So I can connect to either of that, like whatever needed, right? So if I think that I have data in this, so I'll connect to this one. So if I think I have data in this, I'll connect to this one. So we will connect to this one and it will load the complete model actually. So it will not load the data and all. So the schema, it will like the skeleton, right? So whatever we have on the front end, it means what table we have, what model we have, it means how it is connected with other tables and what type of columns we have. So these things and all will be loaded and using them, you can do the visualization. So you can do visualization. I mean, you can take the visuals, you can give the inputs and you can do the formatting and everything. But the thing is data is not stored in the backend. So it will be there in the service only. On top of that, you are generating this report. It means even though you are taking visual from here, but you are giving the column inputs, right? So it will take the backend data from the service. So always it will have the connection to the model. So it will not store the data in the backend for the live connection. So you cannot see the data here and you cannot modify the model or you cannot make any transformations. Only thing is you can do visualization out of that. So now it is
Hello, bro.
connected to
Hello.
previous mod serial.
Hello.
So now
Hello.
it is connected. So you are not able to see the data, whatever is there in the backend. It means earlier we have created this right a Hello BI model. So that is there in the another file. So that is why you cannot see it here. You can just see the schema of that. Schema means table name and the respective column names. And on top of that, you can see the model, how it is built. Like what is the dimension table, what is the fact table, how they are connected. So it means from where to where, like we have the filtering directions. So these things we can see, and by taking this as reference, you can do the visualization. So you can pick the visuals and give the respective details from here. If you are giving like this, see, it is taking a lot of time. Why? Because we don't have data in the Power BI file. It is there in the model. That is why it has to send a request to the service, and there it has to send the request to the model, and from there it will take the data and process it in the backend, and it will display the numbers. So that is why there will be network latency, even for live connection as well as for the direct query also. For direct query, we are taking the data from database. We are not storing here. So same here for the live connection, we are not storing in this file. It is there in the another file. It means another model which is already there in the service. So it is referring to the external data. External data. So on top of that, we are building this report. Only report we are building. We are not building the model here. So that is the live connection. So now we can publish this. It will not create any extra model. It will just connect to the existing model in the Power BI service. So only one file will be uploaded. So in respect to earlier we were seeing two files, right? One is model file and one is a report file. So when you are developing the model, that time only it will generate the model file. Otherwise, we'll have only one file if you are putting the live connection. Clear? Model file.
That means data file.
Data only. Model is nothing but data. Like we have imported some data and we have stored, right? That model, I mean, the data transformations, measures, and additional columns you have created. So that thing and the model, like how you have given connections to like one table to another table, right? Logical connections. So all these things will be stored in that only. So it will, I mean, the report file will not store anything, only the visuals and the formatting stuff, whatever you created, right? So only that I mean things it will store. So the backend things, right? So the everything apart from this white space, everything, right? It will be stored in the model only. That measures, I mean, using DAX and all. If you are creating something, that will be there in the model file only. So that you can reuse. Any number of times you can connect with the live connection and you can reuse that. Yeah. And another thing is, yeah. So how to refresh the data set? I mean, once we publish the report, right? So after that, every day, like business will have some transactions. So every day, data will be adding to the servers. So, like, I mean, at the time of creation, we might have taken the data and we have created the report and we published it. What about tomorrow? What about day after tomorrow? So there is a new data in the server. So there will be no new data, means it has to be updated, right? So tomorrow, if you're opening the report has to be updated. It means it has to fetch the updated data from the server and then it has to display the new numbers. It means irrespective of old numbers. So at the time of creation, whatever was there on the server, it will take and we will create that report. But if you are opening the report tomorrow, so if you are seeing the same, previous numbers, means there is no use of that. So it is not like one-time activity that we are doing. It means for 3 months you are struggling and creating one report only for one-time activity, means so there is no meaning of that. So that is why we have to, I mean, so we have the feature to refresh the reports every day, like every hour, or it depends on like frequency how the organization wants. So you can refresh daily, you can refresh hourly, or you can refresh weekly. It's like however you want. Okay, so how we do that? Like how we refresh the data sets. Generally, we can take data from cloud sources or we can take data from on-premises sources. On-premises is nothing but, for example, if I'm working for one organization, assume that I'm working for HCL. Okay, so assume that they have some physical stores or something like DMart or something, any kind of stores that they have, like grocery stores, something they have for their business operations. So what people will do means they will have some servers to store all the information. Okay, so they will have some servers to store all the information. It means you're going to any store and you are making some transactions, right? So where that data will be stored? So they will not store in that laptop or whatever the machine that they are operating, right? They will not store the data into that. So what they will do means they all will be connected through the network and they will store the data into a separate server. So that will be hosted in their organization. So that can be like, maybe if it is Bangalore, right? So if they have multiple stores, so within the Bangalore, they'll have one cluster. So all the business operations, wherever happening, right, they will be stored into that server. So it means they'll have the separate tables and all. So they are all connected with the network. And so you can open that application. For example, if you take any mobile app or something like Amazon or Flipkart, something. So is that data is being recorded in your phone or it is being recorded into their servers? Their servers only, right? If it is recording in your phone, like how they are taking the orders, they don't, I mean, they don't get to know, right? So that's why what they will do through that app, they are taking the responses and they are storing into their servers. Okay, so here the storage, right? So the servers, whatever they are, storing the data. So if they are hosted within their organization, it means some people what they will do. So they will have separate servers installed in their organization. It means server is nothing but a storage space only. Just like how we have a laptop, like it is 500 GB, but when it comes to organizations, they will have the TBs, like terabytes of storage machines. So same way. So they will install and they will maintain all the data into that servers. So if they are maintaining their own servers, they all comes under on-premises data servers. On-premises means they are maintaining their own servers. It means within their network only, they are owning that, the server and they are maintaining and they are storing the data. So that is the on-premises. Apart from that, what other, some other organizations, right, just to avoid that cost and the maintenance, it means if you are hosting the servers, so every time like you have to maintain them. So power backup should be there, security should be there, and there should be additional servers. Like if you are running any promotions, so if you are running any promotions, what you will do, it means many users will hit your servers. So that time they will get crashed, right? So that time what they have to do, they have to increase the servers, then only they can start the promotions. So that time, so only for one day, again, they need a lot of resources. Lot of resources they need. So apart from that, again, there will be a maintenance. So just to cut down these sources and all, what they will do, so they will go for cloud sources like Azure, AWS, GCP. So instead of storing that data into their organization servers, what they will do, they will purchase the cloud server. It means they will take the servers for rent. Okay, and so whatever needed for their daily needs, right? So that servers only they will take for rent. And if you have any kind of a promotions and all that time, so only for one day they will pay high rent for the extra servers. It means if you are running any promotions like Dasara sales or Sankranti sales like that, so that time they will purchase some additional. It means they will give rent for the extra servers whatever they need. So that time what they will do, only for 2 days or 3 days, maybe they can pay rent for 1 month, so they can reduce for 11 months. Only for 2 days they need means, so they can give the double cost. It means per day if it is having 100 rupees, they will pay 200 per day. So that is benefit for them, right? So for the organizations, if they are hosting in a cloud, and for cloud people, so one day they will give rent to the one person, another day they will give to some other person. So like that, it is profitable for them also. So like that, what people will do, so they will host the data, I mean, in the cloud sources. Some people will maintain their own servers, and some people will maintain cloud servers. It means they will take servers for rent and they will host their data. So this is how nowadays business are operating. So most of the organizations now turning into cloud sources only, but majority like they have their own servers. They cannot decommission them right now, right? So they are continuing with the servers, and if they have any new things, right? So that things and all they are migrating to cloud sources. So that is the migration. Sometimes so they want to shift to cloud sources means they'll call it as migration. It means they are moving all the data from the on-premises servers to cloud sources. That is a kind of a migration. It means from this place to that place they are migrating the data. Okay, now you are clear, right? What are the cloud sources and what are the on-premises sources? If they are maintaining their own servers, then it is the organizational servers. If they have the storage in the cloud sources, then it is like cloud. So it means Azure cloud that can be, or that can be Amazon. So there are so many things in the market. So that depends on competition, and that depends on like the prices that they get and the speed, everything. So they will calculate their needs, and accordingly they will purchase or they will take rent for the, I mean, servers for rent. So that is how now we are having. So now just think that we have two different servers. One is like on-premises server and another is cloud server. Okay, two different things. So just remember these two things. That's why I just explained all this story. So, but we need to remember only what is on-premises and what is cloud. Okay. Now we have a server, on-premises server. So we have on-premises server and we have Power BI service here. And Power BI service is also hosted in Azure cloud. It means it's their own product. So that's why they are storing it in the Azure environment.
Is it what sort of model? It's a model or any serverless
Which one? Service.
About yes.
It's application, right? Web application.
Web application, then okay.
I mean, it's a web application.
Like how the architecture of the Power service.
Architecture, I'm not sure. Generally, it is like a website. So just like how we have the third-party website, right? It is like a website. But in the backend, they might be using different models, so that we can't know, right? So generally, how they will do means they will store the data into separate servers, and to maintain that, they will have their own database. That process and all we can't get to know. So how they are maintaining in the backend and all, so it's private. I mean, it's their privacy issues, right? We can't get to know that. But the thing is, we know that it is stored in the Power BI service, so they will maintain all their features with another database only. It means for one organization they will have one database, so that like the user licenses, how many user license and what type of license they have, and again, so what storage they have purchased. So accordingly, like what is the address of that storage that they have given, so they will maintain that separate database for every organization. To run their business, they need a database. So like that, they might be using a different database like SQL that can be, or they have some other sources or tools in the backend. So they might be using that. Okay, but for us, it is a web application. So that is what we have to remember. It means a kind of a website. In the backend, they might be using a different functionalities. We can't get to know that just for storage and all. Okay, so this is the Power BI service. Okay, and it is hosted on Azure and it is owned by Microsoft. And assume that I am working for HCL. Just for an example, I'm working for HCL. Okay, so now what I will do? So this is on-premises server. It means HCL own these servers. HCL own these servers. It means all the business data is being hosted in the on-premises server for the HCL. So now what I will do using my laptop, it means I am an authorized person for HCL. It means so all the softwares like whatever needed for me are installed. It means they will configure the virtual private network, I mean VPN and all. So I'll be in the HCL network always. Okay, whatever I'm doing, they can track it. And so in the backend, they will do the IP masking. And so if I access the on-premises servers means I have the access to that. It means if I have username and password, so I can access through my HCL network laptop. It means I'll get the company laptop, right? From that, I can access the server, I mean on-premises server. So I can install Power BI desktop. I can install Power BI desktop on my machine. Okay, so I can install Power BI desktop and I can get the data from the on-premises server. Okay, just assume that we are done with the development. We are done with the development. After completing the development, what we will do? We will publish the we will publish the report into Power BI service. It means first time we fetch the data here and create the report, and then what we will do? We will publish this report into Power BI service. That is what we are doing. From here to here, we are publishing the report. After that, these two things are connected or they are like independent? How it is? Even though we have live connection option, from where we can take only data visualization part, not modeling part. Why we need these two are independent? Okay, we'll answer them later. Yeah. So now we have this, like we are publishing the report into Power BI service, right? So from here to here, and these two are disconnected. It means it is just giving a copy to this one. It means we are just having the copy of this Power BI desktop file. It means that PBIX file. So it is published here. So now these two things are disconnected. They are not connected, right? After publishing, it is just taking a copy of that. So it is not, having like, it means if you make any changes in the desktop, directly it will not, reflect in the Power BI service. These two are completely disconnected. It is just a copy of that file. Okay. Whatever changes you are making after publishing, they will not reflect in Power BI service. So it's completely disconnected. After that, if you want to keep the reports up to date, what you have to do? You have to refresh the report. If you refresh in Power BI, it will not reflect in Power BI service. I mean, if you're refreshing in desktop, it will not reflect in service. So you have to refresh in Power BI service only. Every time you have to refresh in Power BI service only. And so I am the authorized person. It means I am working for this HCL and I have access to this. I mean, my laptop has access to this on-premises server. So does Power BI service is authorized person for HCL?
No.
Is it the authorized person for HCL? So it is not working for HCL. It means it is not authorized. It means the machine, like the Azure, right? Azure environment, right? It is completely an external environment for HCL. So it is not, it doesn't belongs to HCL. So it's completely an external environment. So just assume that, so you are working for some other company and you are trying to access my on-premises server. It means which is hosted in HCL. So you are external to my company and you are trying to access the organization servers. Will you get the data? Will you have access to that? Obviously, no. Even though you have credentials and something like that, so you cannot access that data. It means that the machine is not configured like that. So since you are external user for my company, so you cannot access my organization servers. In the same way, Power BI service is also an external person. So if it is trying to access this data from on-premises server, so it cannot get the data. It means it will reject that connection. It will reject that connection. That is why Power BI service directly cannot connect with on-premises servers and cannot refresh the data. So if then what is the what is the solution for this? If it is directly not connecting with on-premises servers, how it can refresh the data? So how it can mean? So there is one way. So I'm the person, right? I'm the developer, right? So what I mean, I have access to this on-premises server and I have access to this Power BI service. So directly Power BI service cannot convert to organization, I mean the on-premises server, but it can connect with my laptop, right? So it can connect to my laptop, and from here to here, it can access the data. So that is how what we can do means we will create a bridge between on-premises server and Power BI service. So Power BI service will not access the direct data from the server. That time, what it will do through that bridge, it will contact the on-premises server. So it will send the request from Power BI service to this machine actually. Yeah. So it will first, if you are refreshing any data set, it will send a request to the bridge machine. So we have the bridge right in between. So it will send request to this, and again, that bridge will send request to on-premises server. See, it is not a Power BI desktop actually. It means it cannot use the Power BI desktop for refresher. So we have a separate software called Gateway. Gateway will be there. Okay, so that software needs to be installed. It cannot access through Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop is done. That part is until publishing that report into Power BI service. After that, it's gone. After that, so if you want to refresh the data set, you need a gateway in between. In your organization, that gateway can be in your machine or it can be in some other machine. But that should be within the organization. So the machine where you're installing the gateway, right? That should be within the organization, and that should have access to the on-premises server, and that should have access to the Power BI service. So you have to install a gateway, I mean, within the machine where we have access to our on-premises server. So that should be within our organization network. Just remember that. So it will send request to this bridge machine, and from here to here, it will send the request, and then it will refresh the data. That is how the process will do. I mean, will be in the backend. Clear, right? So the thing is, Power BI service cannot access the on-premises servers directly. So it has to access through any organization machine, and in that organization machine, you should have a gateway software installed. Through that gateway only, it can access the data from the on-premises server. So that gateway is the bridge between Power BI service and on-premises server. Just remember that.
VPNs on there, gateway. Gateways means VPN on there.
Not VPN. VPN means they will mask the IP. So it means if you have one IP, right, you will have one IP. But in the organization, they will maintain some other IPs. So they will accept only that range of IPs only. So they will not accept the public IPs. So just to maintain some privacy, you should not know that IP. So they will maintain some IP, but you should not know that. That is why what they will do, they will convert your IP into that pool. So that VPN, it will mask that IP and then it will access the server. So that time hackers will not know what is the exact IP of that. Yeah, that is how they maintain. So now clear, right? So if you want to refresh the data from Power BI service, you need a gateway. It means that should be within our organization network. And so we will not install the gateway in our machine. So it means in the developer machines, we will not install. Why? Because we will not be online for 24/7, right? So that is why they will have a separate machine for that. So that will be online 24/7. It means whenever you want to refresh it, so it will contact the gateway machine, and from that gateway machine, it will contact the on-premises servers, then the refresh will happen. So we can install in our machine, but the thing is, it should be online 24/7. So because some reports will refresh, evening, or some reports will refresh morning. So in between, someone is doing the on-demand refresh, means that time also it has to go through the gateway machine. That's why it means it will work if I install in our machine, but that it should be online for 24/7. That's why we will not install in our machine. So we'll have separated dedicated machine for that. So there we will install the gateway. How we will install a gateway and all, we will see now. So now we are clear, right? How the refresh will work in the backend. Now the thing is, you have to install the gateway and connect two systems. That's it.
It is in auto scheduling one.
Yeah, I mean, first thing, like, you have to create a way, right? It means that is scheduling, auto refresh and all, scheduling it. But before that, it need to access the on-premises server, right? That path we are creating now. Even if you trigger the auto refresh, it has to pass through the gateway machine only, right? So that path we are setting up now. After that, you can do manual refresh or you can do schedule refresh. It means you can set up some time. By that time, like it will refresh automatically. So that thing, that is next part. It means so you are setting up some scheduling or something. Before that, there should be a way, right, for Power BI service to reach the on-premises server. So that path we are setting up. So we need a gateway. So we are not installing it in our machine. So we can install it in some other machine. So they will have a separate machine for that. So for the gateway, we can log into this through the remote desktop. So we will get that credentials to log in into that. So when you trigger the refresh, first Power BI service will send request to gateway, and the gateway will send request to on-premises server, and on-premises server will give the data to gateway, and from gateway again Power BI service will pick that data. So that is how refresh will work here. So it is just a bridge between on-premises server and Power BI service. And for cloud sources, you don't need any gateway. So directly it can contact the cloud resources. So we are not hosting them within the organization, right? So that is again in the separate online server. So that can contact the online servers just with the authentication. It means you need to provide the authentication. It means the organization credentials will be there, right? So that the username and password you have to give, or else it can connect with your network credentials only. If it is just Azure environment only, other external Azure server, so directly it can connect just with the proper authentication. So they will have two types of, two level of authentication or one level. So it depends on how much security they wants to implement. For the cloud sources, gateway is not required since we are not hosting the data within the organization. Only for on-premises servers and all, we need a gateway. Okay, now we will see like how we will install the gateway. So just assume that my machine is the gateway machine. It means like they have given this dedicated machine to you. So what you will do from your laptop, you'll use the remote desktop or like some other team viewer or something, like if you whatever they give, right? So using that, what you will do, you will log into the respective computer. Okay, to the gateway machine, you will log in. There you will be installing the gateway. How you will install and all, I'll tell you. So first thing, like we need to download the gateway. So how we can download it? You can go to Power BI service. Yeah, here we have this option. See, download Power BI desktop data gateway. So these are all we have, right? So out of that, we need a data gateway. So we will download that gateway. Again, we have two different gateways. One is the personal mode, another is the standard mode. So we will download the standard one. Personal mode is just for our personal use. So we have some limitations for that. So you can see like what and all things we can do with the standard one and with the personal one. So personal one is only for us. It means it will work only for Power BI and it will not support the live connection. It will not support the direct query and all. So just for our reference, we can use this personal gateway. So that's why we directly avoid the personal gateway. So we go with the standard mode. The process is same for both of them. Download them, install them, log in with your credentials. This is what we do on the gateway machine. The process is same for both of them, but the thing is the personal one will not support all the functionalities. It means the analysis service, it means connecting to the live mode and the direct query. So these are things and all it will not support, and you cannot share that machine with the other users. It means for every organization, so it means they will not install multiple gateways. It means you are one developer, so you'll not have a separate gateway machine. So another developer, they will not have separate gateway machine. So they will maintain one gateway machine and you all will get access to that. It means you all can add the servers to that. It means the resources to that. Only one gateway machine or two gateway machine for backup, they will maintain and you all will get access to that. So that standard mode will support. Power BI, personal mode will not support that kind of thing. It means so multiple users cannot have access to the same gateway. But the standard mode, so we can give access to multiple persons. So that's why it is shareable. So it means multiple people can access that. That is why we go with the standard mode. But the process is same. So just download it, install it, and log in with your credentials. So that is what we do over there. So So I need to download the standard mode, right? Yeah, so download standard mode. So now it is being downloaded. I have installed it previously, so I'm just uninstalling it and I'll tell you like how we install it from the beginning.
Used to build the live connection, right?
Hmm.
All these just to build the live connection.
Live connection always not required, right? It means
లైవ్ కనెక్షన్ కోసమే కదా.
ఏది
ఇప్పుడు మనం చేస్తున్న గేట్వే
లైవ్ కనెక్షన్ కి గేట్వే కి సంబంధం లేదు. అది కంప్లీట్ గా డిఫరెంట్. లైవ్ కనెక్షన్ ఉన్న మోడల్ ని మనం యూస్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం, బట్ ఆ మోడల్ ఎవ్రీడే అప్ టు డేట్ ఉండాలి కదా. ఆ మోడల్ సర్వర్ కి కనెక్ట్ అయ్యేసి అప్డేటెడ్ డేటా ఫెచ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఉండాలి. ఆ మోడల్ ని ఇప్పుడు సర్వర్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేయాలి మనం. ఆ మోడల్ యూస్ చేసుకుని ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ రిపోర్ట్స్ మనం క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అంటే ఈ ఇంకొక ఫైల్ నుంచి దీనికి కనెక్షన్, ఈ మోడల్ కి కనెక్షన్ పెట్టి రిపోర్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. బట్ ఆ మోడల్ కి అప్డేటెడ్ డేటా వస్తూ ఉండాలి కదా. ఆ మోడల్ ని ఎలా రిఫ్రెష్ చేస్తాం డైలీ? సో ఆ మోడల్ రిఫ్రెష్ చేయాలంటే డేటా ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? సర్వర్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో ఈ మోడల్ ఏమో సర్వీస్ లో ఉంది, ఇది డైరెక్ట్ గా సర్వర్ ని కాంటాక్ట్ చేయలేదు. సో ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ మనకి ఒక బ్రిడ్జ్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట, అంటే ఈ గేట్వే ఉంటుంది. సో ఈ మోడల్ వచ్చేసి డేటా రిఫ్రెష్ అని మనం క్లిక్ చేయగానే, లేదంటే షెడ్యూల్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆ టైంకి ఏం చేస్తుందంటే రిఫ్రెష్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ట్రిగర్ చేస్తుంది. సో అప్పుడు అది ఏం చేస్తుంది? సర్వర్ని కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వడానికి ట్రై చేస్తుంది. ఉండదు కదా, డైరెక్ట్ యాక్సెస్ ఉండదు కాబట్టి. సో రిక్వెస్ట్ వచ్చేసి గేట్వే మెషిన్ కి సెండ్ చేస్తుంది, గేట్వే మెషిన్ సర్వర్ కి సెండ్ చేస్తుంది. అక్కడి నుంచి రిలేటెడ్ డేటా ఫెచ్ చేసుకొని మోడల్లోకి అప్డేటెడ్ డేటా వస్తుంది. సో దీనికి కనెక్ట్ అయిన రిపోర్ట్స్ అన్ని కూడా దీనిలో ఉన్న డేటాను యూస్ చేసుకుంటాయి కాబట్టి, ఆ రిపోర్ట్ను ఓపెన్ చేసినప్పుడు మోడల్లో ఏ డేటా అయితే ఉందో ఆ డేటాను ప్రాసెస్ చేసి నంబర్స్ అనేవి ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ లో చూపిస్తాయి. అలా ఉంటుంది. ఆ మోడల్ని ఇప్పుడు రీఫ్రెష్ చేయాలి మనం, ఆ మోడల్ ఫైల్ని. Okay, so you go to downloads. See, this is my gateway software, so I just downloaded it. So you also go to that the remote machine. So once you get access, right, you just log into that machine and download the gateway, then double click on it. Yeah, so just next only, just install it. That's it.
అది రిపోర్ట్ అవ్వలేదు మరి సార్, కొంచెం మన కొంచెం లేదు. నేను రిపోర్ట్
It is installed. Okay, now you need to log in with your credentials. It means your service credentials will be there, right? We'll be logging in with that. Same. Pavan Kumar.
Oh, that's not about. Four-way services లా gateways కి సర్వర్లకు వెళ్ళి లాగిన్ అవసరం లేదు, డైరెక్ట్ ఇక్కడే.
గేట్వే కి రిమోట్ అంటే ఒక సపరేట్ ల్యాప్టాప్ లాగా ఒక మెషిన్, వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ ఒకటి కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసి ఉంటారు. దాంట్లోకి మీరు లాగిన్ అవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు ప్రజెంట్ వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ లేదు కాబట్టి, వర్చువల్ మెషిన్లోకి లాగిన్ అయినప్పుడు అది కూడా ఒక కంప్యూటరే కదా. సో అందుకని నా మెషిన్ని వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు దానిలో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తుంది, నా మెషిన్లోనే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తుంది. సో నాదే ఒక వర్చువల్ మెషిన్ అనుకోండి. సో అక్కడికి పోయినా సరే ఇదే ప్రాసెస్ చేస్తాం కాబట్టి, నా దాంట్లో డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి మీకు చూపిస్తున్నాను ఇక్కడ ఎలా ఇన్స్టాల్ చేస్తామని చెప్పేసి.
ఈ వర్క్ మనమే చేయాలి.
ఇది ఆల్రెడీ అయిపోయి ఉంటుంది, ఆల్రెడీ చేసేసి ఉంటారు. బట్ ఎప్పుడైనా ఫ్యూచర్ లో మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా ఇబ్బంది పెట్టినప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఇది ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయడం రాదా అని అడిగినప్పుడు మీరు రాదు అని చెప్పకూడదు కదా, అందుకని చెప్తున్నాం. మన కోసం అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు వెయిట్ చేయరు. ఆల్రెడీ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ చాలా ఇయర్స్ నుంచి ఉంటాయి. సో ఖచ్చితంగా వాళ్ళు ముందు నుంచి కూడా సర్వర్స్ అనేవి ఉంటాయి. ఇట్ మీన్స్ దే విల్ మెయింటైన్ దట్ సర్వర్స్. Already everything is installed. You don't need to do anything. You simply need to develop the reports and publish to the Power BI service. So these things are all, if you are going to any startup or somewhere, right? So they will ask you, like, if you are not knowing this means, obviously they will question your experience, right? That's why I'm just telling you like how to install or not. This is a very simple process only. Just download the software and install it. Now we are logging into that. That's it. So register a new gateway on this computer. If you already have any gateway and if you are migrating it to some other machine and all, so that time you can select this option. But obviously, we will not do any migrations and everything. So it means if the system is corrupted and if you have that credentials, so you can migrate that. It means from that machine to this machine. So if you are not having the credentials means you have to go with the new gateway. Okay, so we'll click on register a new gateway on this computer. It means we are just creating a cluster. It means the bridge. Next. So you can give the cluster name. Maybe if it is a production environment, right? So I can give gateway prod. You can rename it like however you want. Prod gateway, development gateway. So like that, you can rename it. And you have to create a key for this. It means a recovery key and for this cluster, right? You need to give the password. It means we are creating a separate cluster. Just remember that within to this cluster only, we will add the server details. Okay. On the gateway machine, you need to create the cluster. Yeah, while creating, right? So you have to remember this one. If you forget this key and all, so you cannot restore that gateway again. So that's why you have seen in the first step, right? A restore or migrate. So to restore or migrate that one, you need these two details, that cluster name as well as the password for that. You need to remember them. That's why while creating, you just write it somewhere. That's it. Install the software, log in with your credentials, and then create this cluster. You can choose another name. Okay. Done. So gateway is configured. Just download the gateway, log in with your credentials, and create the cluster. So this cluster we have created, gateway prod 1, and the respective password we have given, right? So the cluster is created. So this machine will be up and running now. Okay, so now my machine is the bridge. So I have installed the gateway in my machine. So I need to log into the service, and from service, if I refresh anything, right, so it will refresh through my machine. But the thing is, you need to add the respective source details in the service. So that I will tell you like how to configure the data set to use this gateway. We have to tell that. So we have a gateway machine installed. It means you can, for refreshing, you contact the server through this gateway. So like that, you have to tell you. So you can have n number of gateways with the cluster names. You can change and you can create n number of gateways for the organization. So depends on the server, like where your server details are shared. So you can contact through the cluster. Okay. So now gateway is done. So now we have to go to service. So this is a service account, right? I'll take one sample report just with one table. I'll create one report for you, like taking data from a SQL server. It means it is hosted in organization servers. And from there, we will publish it to service and we will try to refresh from there. Just with a basic one. So I'm taking a new file. Just assume that it's a complete new report. And this is the server where my organization data is available. Just remember that. So I have data in training database. I have 16 records here, okay, in this table. So I'll take the same table. So get data. So my server is, what is my server? SQL server. So SQL server and give the server name. So take SQL server, give the server name, and the server name for my thing is this one. Yeah, this is my server name. So this server name details and all they will give to you. So using that, you can access it. So from this server and from training database, right? So here I have my data. In training database, I have data. It means I have the tables. So I need to give that. If you are writing a query, if you are not writing query, you can go to the next step. There you can select the, you just select import and direct query, which mode you want, and you go to the next step. So here it will ask you for the authentication. So give the username and password. Or you can choose the Microsoft account. It means you will have the organization account, right? There also you can authenticate it. You sign in with that. So it will send the notification to your mobile based on the authenticator. So you log in. It will connect to the respective server. So sometimes they will share the credentials for that. So there, come to database and give the credentials, then connect. So it will take us to the navigation window. So here I have tables in training database. So here I can select whatever tables needed for this report. Okay, I'm taking only one table. So that is this one, employee test, and loading the data. If I want to make any transformation, I'll go to Power Query editor. So I am not doing anything. I'm directly loading the data. Okay, so data is loaded. So I have this table. Okay, from this table, I'll create only one visualization. See, this is my data, like same 16 records I should get. I'm getting all the records. And then what I will do, I'll take one or two visualizations out of that. I'm just counting. Total 16 records we have. Okay. I can take table visual also to see all that information. Okay, so we got employee ID, employee name, and salary. Okay, so total number of records are 16. So now I will save these reports. Just assume that I have created the report. Now I'm publishing it. So I just saved it. Now publishing the report into Power BI service. So already I have logged in with the Power BI credentials. So I am publishing it to service test N1 dev. My report name is report test 2. So success, right? Up to this point clear, right? Just create the report, publish it to Power BI service. And here we should get that report. We got it. Okay, refresh to like report file and dataset files. So we got to. And where our data will be in dataset or report? I mean model or report, where we will have the data in model. So it means if you are refreshing me, we have to refresh the model file. See, just write to that, we will have this refresh option. And on top of this model, the report is connected. Okay, so whatever data we have here, based on that data, it will generate that report. We will open that report and we will see here.
ఇన్నిసార్లు డేటా పబ్లిష్ చేస్తే రిపోర్ట్స్ ఎన్నిసార్లు పబ్లిష్ చేస్తే ఎన్నిసార్లు సిమాంటిక్ నార్మల్ రిపోర్ట్స్ రెండు వస్తాయి.
ఒక్కసారి అంటే రీప్లేస్ అయిపోతుంది. సేమ్ నేమ్ తోటి మళ్ళీ పబ్లిష్ చేస్తే రీప్లేస్ అయిపోతుంది. లేదు నేమ్ చేంజ్ చేస్తే కొత్త ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. 2 ఫైల్స్ మళ్ళీ మోడల్.
అంటే నాకు డిఫరెంట్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చారు కదా, అవి సిమాంటిక్ వచ్చేసి 2
ఇది వచ్చింది ఒక రిపోర్ట్ ఫైల్, ఒక మోడల్ ఫైల్. ఆబ్వియస్లీ 2 క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. అది సపరేట్ మోడల్, ఇది సపరేట్. రెండు క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. ఇది సర్వీస్ AluBI అనేది సపరేట్. సో దానికి ఒక రిపోర్ట్ ఫైల్, మోడల్ ఫైల్. సో దీనికి టెస్ట్ కి ఒక సపరేట్ మోడల్ ఫైల్, రిపోర్ట్ ఫైల్. So we have 16 records and all this 16 records. Just assume that data is updated in server. It means there might be addition of new records or deleting the existing record, something. There are some changes to the server. So if there are changes to the server, means the same changes needs to be reflected in model also. It means then only we will be seeing the accurate numbers. It means it should be connected to the business. Then only we can take these reports as reference and take the business decisions. Okay, so now what we will do, we will do refresh. I mean, first I'll update some data. It means I'm not adding any additional records, but I just delete a few records here. Either adding or deleting. Just remember that we have some changes to the database and same changes needs to be reflected in the report. So that's why I'll make some changes. It means I'll just delete some records and we will see. Delete star from. Because addition will take a lot of time. It means need to create that syntax and all, right? That's why I'm just deleting few records out of this. Where EM5 ID is equal to 1006. So I'm deleting. Sorry. Not required. So I have deleted one record. I'll delete 2 more records. Then we will see. 1003, 1004. So now, how many records we have now? This is 13. So we have changes in database. So now we will refresh the Power BI service file. See, this is right. This is the refresh test 2. So I have to refresh it. This is on-demand refresh. I'm just updating. I mean, doing the refresh now. See here, refreshed. You're seeing some warning symbol.
Did first 15, last 15.
Schedule refresh is disabled.
15 was 55.
Missing credentials. It means it is not connected to our on-premises server. So it means directly, it means we just install the gateway, but we have not configured to the model, right? We have to configure it. Then only it will do the refresh. So just to show that error, I just refreshed directly instead of connecting that. Okay. Now what we will do? So we have to go to this respect to settings. It means for this data set, go to the settings, and in the settings, come to gateway and cloud connections. For every model, you have to do that after publishing. So go to the settings and go to gateway and cloud connections. So we have a gateway installed, but it is not configured with the respective server details. It means once installing the gateway, so whatever the on-premises data sources, it means the servers that you are using, right? You have to add all the servers to the gateway. It means to the cluster. How we will do that means before updating this one, you should go to settings and manage connections and gateways. Just install the gateway, come to Power BI service, manage connections and gateways. And then here you have to add that. It means to see on-premises data gateways. We have this cluster, right? So to this cluster, we have to add the server, that server details. So how we will add that means we come to connections, new, and select the type of connection name. So it means just I will give SQL server, something like that. So just the cluster name, I mean, sorry, I need to select the cluster name first. After that, the connection name I have to give. So this is the only cluster that I have, right? One cluster I have created. So that cluster I have to take, then take the connection name.
Yes.
So this can be anything. You can give any name for that server. So for this server actually, so this is the like the server name and the database and all, right? So that one. So here connection type. So what is your server? What is the type of your server, like Oracle or SQL server or any database? Like mine is SQL server. So I will select the SQL server. Can type that. Yeah, this one. Just select that one. Now give the server name. See, this is the server name, right? This is the server name. Give the server name. And then if you have the database, just give that. Mine is training database, right? I'm giving that. And authentication. So mine is basic only. So then create. Privacy level, you can keep organizational. Privacy levels. So it's not required. So just take the cluster name. So just select the cluster name to which you want to add that source. So we already have only one cluster. So to that cluster only, I'm adding the server. So I'm taking SQL server connection type and then server details, just respect to server details. This is one-time activity only. For all the data sets, it means all the models, you can use the same thing. You don't need to do it for data set to data set. Simply, we will map it to this server, use this server details, and this server is connected to this cluster, and this cluster is accessing the data from that server. That is how it will work. So I'll click on create. See, created now. So cluster is created. I mean, that connection is added to this one. This to this one, I have added this connection. If you want to check the status of that, so this one we have added right just now. Just see the status whether it is online or not. It means through that gateway, it is able to access the server or not. It will tell you. So it is online. It means so from Power BI service, it is sending a request. It means from to gateway, and gateway is able to contact the server. Okay. Now we are using this server in our report, right? So if we come to the respective report, we are using that server in our report. So the simply we will map it to that one. So come to refresh the settings, test to settings and gateway connections and cloud settings and map to. So this is the server that we are using in the report. So and in the gateway we have configured it. So just select that one and then apply. Earlier, it was directly accessing the server. That is why it is throwing error. Now, what we are doing for this data set, it means for this model, we are connecting to the existing connection, and that connection is again created with the cluster. It means it is connected to the cluster. Okay, gateway, which means first thing, the data set is right. Data set is mapped to server name. Server name is connected to cluster, and that cluster is contacting the source. Simply install the gateway and add all the server details to the gateway machine. And in your report, you come to gateway clouds, gateway and cloud connections and map it to the respective server. That's it. You don't need to make any extra changes. First, to create the cluster, add the respective servers. What if you are using 10 servers in your organization? Add all the 10 servers to the gateway in the service. In the gateway machine, we'll just log in and create the cluster. And after that, come to service, add all the servers to the service. Okay, so later you don't need to add it again and again. Simply you can use it. I mean, you can map it to the respective server. See, yeah, I have only one server. I'm just currently mapping it. Assume that you are using some other Oracle server or something. So you already added the connection details to the cluster. So now you can simply just click on the drop down and map it to Oracle server. So this server and that server, you have to map it and then click on refresh. That time refresh will work. So I'm just applying it. I can close it. Now I'll come to this one. I'll just refresh it. Now the refresh should work now. It means I should not see any error. Yeah. So refresh is done. It is not showing any error here. So come to this one and reload this page. Now you will see the updated number of records. It should show 13 now. See, 13. Now it is refreshed. Earlier, even though I click on refresh, it was not refreshing. Why means it is not mapped to the respective source. So that's why after adding the connection details, create the cluster, add the server details and all to the cluster, then map it. Like after publishing every data set, you just go to gateway settings, gateway and connection, and map it to the respective server. Okay, that server details and cluster and all already they might have done that. You simply after publishing it, map it to the respective server. That is what you have to do. Okay, but if they ask you to do that, so install the cluster and configure it with like this. It means install that and go to, log in with the credentials and go to service account, add the servers. Like you just take, if you have 5 servers, add all the 5 servers at a time. So in future, you don't need to do the same thing again and again. So you can simply after publishing, you need to map it. That is all. That is how we do the refresh. Clear? Any doubts?
What will be the steps in the source in the Excel?
Excel. So Excel files, it means if you are storing on our local machine, it means 99% we will not have the files on our local machine and we cannot refresh them. See, if it means once your work done, like you will close your laptop and you will go. And if refresh is scheduled at some other 10 o'clock or maybe in the morning, so that time how it will refresh, how it will take the data if your machine is not online. Even though you add that, it means the local path to the gateway, so your machine is not online. So how it will refresh? So that is why the local files, it means we will not, update in Power BI, in Power BI desktop. So what they will do means they will upload the Excel files or, any flat files like TXT files and all. So they will upload to SharePoint. SharePoint is also kind of a Google Drive or a Power BI service. It's a kind of a storage account. So to that account, they will upload and from there they will link to Power BI. So when you are refreshing, right, for the SharePoint, we don't need a gateway. So directly it can connect to SharePoint. So we cannot store the files in your local machine and you cannot schedule the refresh. It means again, it is a hectic path. It means we can add it, but it's a hectic process actually. So you need to define that path. It means you need to connect to your local machine and from there again, you have to give the respective path. Again, if it is not online means there is no use of that. That's why people will avoid these complications. They will not ask you to keep the files in your local machine and refresh it. So they will ask you to store in the SharePoint or they store the data in the database itself. And from there, we will be doing the refresh. So that's why it's not required. You don't need to refresh the data from your local machine.
In Power BI desktop, there is an option called data source, right?
Data source settings, yes.
There we can schedule that and we can put it.
Data source settings is used for managing the path as well as the connection credentials. It means if you want to update the credentials, you can update them. And if you want to change the path within that development file, so there you can change the path like where you are referring to. It means if you want to point to some other data source, from there you can point it to that. It means all the connection details will be updated to the new source. These two things you can do.
Yeah, and once we done in Power BI desktop, when we are uploading it to the service, the schematic will
Yeah,
have
that will take the same
reference
details.
there.
Once you publish to service, so whatever is there on the desktop, right? What credentials you have, what servers you have given, the same servers will be there. It will be updated in service if you are replacing it. Otherwise, it will have the same credentials, previous credentials only.
Will that not work for this update? What
We don't have data source settings option here. Data source settings option is not available in the Power BI service. So yeah.
Save the information.
Model file. It means the file information will be there. If you are downloading that file, again in desktop, you can open the data source settings and you can change it. Thing is, you have to update in Power BI desktop and you have to publish it to Power BI service. That is how you have to do. And another option is like, using the parameters. It means instead of giving the hard-coded value, you can configure the parameters. So it means update the variables.
Desktop level. Parameters you can change.
See here, if you are using any variables, it means the parameter for server name, instead of giving the server name, take A equal to 10, B equal to 20, like that will take some variables, right, in any programming language. So like that, you can create the parameters in the Power Query editor. It means if you go to Power Query editor, there you can see manage parameters. There you can create that. So it means A equal to 10, B equal to, like that, you can create the, alphabets or, any other, like they are like variables. It means the containers. So in the same way, you can have the server name added to that. And instead of giving the server, here I have given the server name, right? Just while getting the data, SQL server name, and I have given the hard coded the server name. Instead of that, you can map the variable over there. So when it comes to Power BI service, you can simply update that variable. It will list out all the variables you have used here. So here you can update it. So here you update it, and if you click on refresh, it will refresh. It will connect to the new server. It means whatever you have given in the variable, right? So here you can update it. That is how you can do. That data source settings direct option is not available, but you can do with the parameters. Yeah, clear. So that is how we do the refresh activity. So tomorrow I'll tell you like what is RLS, I mean row level security and all, and the license types we will discuss tomorrow, and workspace, like how we collaborate with the other users. It means our other developers. So end user point of view, we need to do this one row level security. So after that, we'll go with the collaboration. It means how we see, I mean, how we give the workspace access, what are the level of accesses we have in that. We will see these two things tomorrow.
And మా డౌట్ ఇప్పుడు టేబుల్ ఉంది కదా సీక్వెన్స్ లో ఆ టేబుల్ మూవ్ అయినప్పుడు వేరే డేటాబేస్ అప్పుడు ఎలా
వేరే డేటాబేస్ కి మూవ్ అవుతాను.
ఆ టేబుల్ వేరే డేటాబేస్ మూవ్ అయింది ఇప్పుడు రిఫ్రెష్ ఎలా
అప్పుడే మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, అప్పుడు రిఫ్రెష్ కు మూవ్ అయినప్పుడు ఆ ఫైల్ ఉంది కదా మీ దగ్గర, డెస్క్టాప్ ఫైల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. ఐ మీన్ సోర్స్ సర్వీస్ నుంచి ఆ ఫైల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. లేదంటే మీ దగ్గర అప్డేటెడ్ వర్షన్ ఏదో ఒక చోట బ్యాకప్ ఉంటుంది కదా లేటెస్ట్ ఫైల్, ఆ లేటెస్ట్ ఫైల్ తీసుకునేసి మీరు డెస్క్టాప్ లోనే చేంజ్ చేయాలి. సర్వీస్ లో చేంజ్ చేయలేరు. సర్వీస్ లో చేంజ్ చేయాలంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పాను కదా, పారామీటర్స్ అనేవి కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకొని ఉండాలి. అప్పుడు ఆ పారామీటర్స్ ఇక్కడ అప్డేటెడ్, ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఇక్కడ పారామీటర్స్ క్లిక్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఆరో వచ్చింది కదా, ఇక్కడ వచ్చింది కదా, ఇక్కడ సర్వర్ నేమ్ తర్వాత డేటాబేస్ నేమ్ అని చెప్పేసి రెండు పారామీటర్స్, సర్వర్ నేమ్ ఈక్వల్ టు సమ్ www డాట్ సమ్ సర్వర్ నేమ్, పారామీటర్ నేమ్ ట్రైనింగ్ అని ఉంది కదా, ఆ ట్రైనింగ్ అనే డేటాబేస్ అసైన్ చేసుకుంటాం అనమాట. ఫ్యూచర్ లో మీరు చెప్పినట్టు అప్డేట్ అయిందని అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసి ఈ పారామీటర్స్ కి నేను ఆ వాల్యూస్ అప్డేట్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. లేదు జనరల్ గా పారామీటర్స్ ఎవరు యూజ్ చేయరు కాబట్టి, ఐ మీన్ తక్కువగా యూజ్ చేస్తారు, అంటే కొంచెం హై లెవెల్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు పారామీటర్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు అనమాట. బట్ స్టార్టింగ్ లో మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే ఆ ఫైల్ ఏదైతే పవర్ బై ఫైల్ ఉంది, ఈ ఫైల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసి ఈ ఫైల్ డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకునేసి ఓపెన్ చేస్తాం, డెస్క్టాప్ లో ఓపెన్ చేస్తాం. డెస్క్టాప్ లో ఓపెన్ చేసి మనం డేటా సోర్స్ సెట్టింగ్స్కి వెళ్తాం. ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ డేటా సోర్స్ సెట్టింగ్స్ ఇది ఉంది కదా, ఇదే కదా మనం చెప్పింది, మీరు చెప్పింది ఇది వేరే దానికి పాయింట్ అవుతుంది అని చెప్పారు కదా. అదే ఇప్పుడు దీన్ని వచ్చేసి ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసి చేంజ్ సోర్స్, ఇక్కడ మీరు అప్డేట్ చేస్తారు కొత్త సర్వర్ నేమ్ కొత్త డేటాబేస్. ఇది అప్డేట్ చేసి ఓకే చేశారంటే కొత్త దానికి పాయింట్అవుట్ అయిపోతుంది. అంటే ఈ సోర్స్ ని యూస్ చేసుకుని ఏ టేబుల్స్ అయితే మీరు క్రియేట్ చేశారో అన్ని టేబుల్స్ కి అట్ ఏ టైం చేంజ్ అయిపోతుంది. ఇండివిజువల్ గా ఒక్కొక్క దానికి చేంజ్ చేయాలంటే పవర్ క్వెరీ ఎడిటర్కి వెళ్ళాలి మీరు, ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ డేటా, అండ్ ఒక్కొక్క టేబుల్ కి ఒక్కొక్కసారి అప్డేట్ చేయాలంటే ప్రతి ఈ టేబుల్ ఉంది కదా, సోర్స్ స్టెప్కి వెళ్ళేసి ఇక్కడికి క్లిక్ చేసి ఈ గేర్ సింబల్ ఉంది కదా, దీన్ని క్లిక్ చేసి ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ చేయాలి. సో ఇది హియర్ ఓన్లీ యూ హ్యావ్ టు అప్డేట్ ఇట్.
సపోజ్ ఇక్కడ పారామీటర్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసినాం, ఫస్ట్ పారామీటర్ వచ్చేసి ట్రైనింగ్ డేటాబేస్ ఇచ్చాం, సెకండ్ పారామీటర్ సమ్ టెస్ట్ డేటాబేస్ ఇచ్చాం. అక్కడ
ఆప్షన్ ఉంటుంది, మీరు ఇక్కడ యూస్ చేస్తారు, అడ్వాన్స్ ఎడిటర్ లో యూస్ చేస్తారు. ఇక్కడ మీరు ఏం చేస్తారంటే పారామీటర్ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ డేటాబేస్ ఇది ఉంది కదా, దీనికి బదులు ఆ పారామీటర్ వాల్యూ పెడతారు అక్కడ. It will call that variable, and whatever value is assigned to that, it will use that. How we will do that means manage parameters, new parameter. So instead of that, server name we will take. Server name I am taking. I mean that name itself I am taking as server name. So the type is text. Current value is this one. It means I am giving this server name. So one parameter is created. If you want for a database also, you can take the database also. It means a training or something you can give. So I just took only server name for this one. So instead of this server name, what I will do, I will take parameter, and I'll map it to server name. I have only one, right? I'll map it to this one. Now I will publish it. I'm just replacing it. Already we have some other file with the same name, right? So I'll replace it. See, server name parameter we have, right? In the same way, we'll have multiple. If you have a database name or some other credential, it means some other parameters created, everything will be coming here. So here you can update the latest server name. If you have any other, source, right? I mean, server name, right? You can update here. Simply switching from one environment to another environment. So like that you can change. If you have, change it here, and if you click on update, I mean apply, so it will apply for you.
Yeah, gateways are not involved. In this case, gateways are not involved.
I mean, server also you have to add the gateway, right? You have to map it.
Whenever we need to use the parameter also, gateways are mandated.
Everything is mandatory. Clear? This is how we can switch from one environment to another environment. Clear? Okay.
Types of refreshes in all results.
That's like two types, like on demand and schedule refresh. And schedule refresh, what we will do, right? If you go to settings, right? Here you will have this. One second. Where it is? Data source settings, parameters. Yeah, refresh. See, just write to the data set, like we'll have this option. So this is refresh now. It means on demand refresh. Like whenever we want refresh, right? So that time we can manually trigger the refresh. If you want to refresh now, immediately we'll click on this refresh option. So it will immediately refresh. That is on demand refresh. I don't know like why it is disabled. Let me check for another. Yeah, so this option will be there, refresh. So you come to settings. So come to, for this one, if you want to configure the schedule refresh, click on these three dots, settings. So after gateway and all, parameters will be there. Just right after that, we will have this refresh. So here you have to configure the respective details. So if you have the workspaces created and all properly, so that time we'll get these options will be highlighted for you. So then you can do the refresh. So how you can do that? Refresh frequency, like you set up the refresh frequency, whether it is daily or weekly. Weekly means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that it will come. So if you like whenever you want to refresh, select that days and then add the time zone. So add another time, right? And just set up the like 8 a.m., 10 a.m., something like that. You can set up the time. This is like based on the time interval or the time zone you are setting. So according to that time zone, it will automatically schedule the refresh. So it will contact the server and schedule it. It's not that much difficult. Simply click on this refresh, select the time zone where your client is there. So and then set up the time for that. Daily means select daily and select the time interval like 8 a.m. or something like that.
That is schedule refresh.
Yeah, but that is only schedule refresh. You can set up the time. Yeah, that is schedule refresh. Two types, on demand and schedule refresh. So this is the schedule refresh. You will be setting up the time for that data set. So at that time, like it will connect the bridge, I mean the gateway, and it will connect with the server and get the latest data.
Regarding the capacities, what capacities?
Number of times, right? 8 times or 48 times. Data size in license part we will see. So we have license types, right? The Pro, Premium, and all. So there we will see like how many times we can refresh in a day for Pro, like what is the maximum storage capacity for data set.
Real time on which server we are performing means like we
Dev server
SQL or means a source server. SQL
SQL.
or on means online sources.
SQL server maximum like on premises servers only you'll get. they will tell you like what server they are using and all. So when you join, right? So that time in the introduction, itself they will tell you.
If we have sources online,
Mhm.
the process will different or like
Same like this only, but the thing is that gateway concept is not required. You don't need to install a separate gateway, and you don't need to configure the things and all. Simply you can directly hit on the refresh. So just like how we can configure the direct schedule refresh. So even if you come to gateway connections and settings for the data set, so maybe if it is asking you to map it, you can map it. I don't think so. It will not ask you for mapping also. Directly you can come for schedule refresh. So you don't need to do anything. Thing is like if the credentials are not given, you have to give the credentials. So it will throw the error just under that, the gateway connections and all. So it means the data source credentials, right? If this option is highlighted and it will show you like you give credentials or credentials are not given for this data set like that. So that time click on that and give the authentication, proper authentication. So from next time onwards, if you are refreshing either on demand or if you are scheduling the refresh means it will directly contact the server. You don't need to do all this process, installing gateway, mapping it and everything not required for the cloud sources.
before in SQL Server, lakhs of data is coming means, regularly. But we are not performing any cleaning part. Means we are directly map these things to publish things.
Hmm.
So we are not doing any cleaning part. Means we are doing the raw data to directly
Always.
publish.
Yeah.
So we need cleaning part also.
That we are doing in the transformation, right?
So
Power Query editor.
Means first we have to go with Power BI desktop and
Yeah.
then cleaning and then
Yeah.
we have to.
So whatever you are doing in the desktop, right? The same, I said, right, template. So what it will do, it will apply all the transformations. So first step is like connecting the source, and after that navigating to the respective table, and after that like filtering some records. It means from this date to this date something you did. Just assume that. So like after connecting to that one, so whatever the transformations you have applied in the Power BI desktop, right? The same transformations will be applied to the table. Even after connecting to the respective source, while fetching the data, it will fetch the data and apply these filters and then get only the data that, however you want to take, right? So that data only it will take. So all the transformations will be applied, and after that only it will store the data. It will not store all the data and make the transformation here. So it will just generate a single SQL query. It means if you are making like 10 transformations or 15 transformations, out of that transformations, what it will do means it will generate an SQL query in the backend, and that SQL query hit the source, and based on that it will copy the data. That is how it works. The transformations will be converted as SQL query again. So you don't need to write a manual SQL query. If you want, you can write it, but generally how it will do means whatever transformations you are applying, it will generate SQL query in the backend. That is called query folding. Query folding. So all transformations will be converted into, generally it will store that transformations into M language, right? That M language is again converted into SQL query, single SQL query. It means it will convert into one query, and that query will hit the server. It means that database we have, right? And accordingly it will copy the data.
So
That is
our
all.
work is like first means
We get the data
on premises, then gateways, then Power BI
service.
server, Power BI desktop, and then Power BI.
You don't need a gateway, right? For developing, you don't need a gateway. Just for the refresh part, you need a gateway. Just for refresh means in desktop already you are an authorized person, you are able to get the data in your machine. So again, why the gateway? The gateway is just for connecting with on-premises server. So it is not, performing any transformations or something. Like whatever you have done in the desktop part, right? So that thing only will be applied. It means that is a template. So it will, the data, whatever is coming from the server, it will flow through all these levels. It means the transformations you did and the model you created and the storage type you set up. So it will flow through all these steps that you have created in the desktop. It is just a bridge means it's just a connection to the gate, to the server. So from here to here, it will get the data. From here to here, you will get the data, and that data, according to the template and according to the report that you have created, it will flow through all the transformation steps that you created, and then the final data will be stored. On top of that, numbers will be generated based on the logics that you set up.
Regarding the data flows, the entire process is known as the data flow.
Data flows are different. It's a different one. Data flows are nothing but importing the tables into Power BI service. It means just like how we are taking the data into Power BI desktop, right? Into Power BI service also, we can import the tables. I'll tell you that tomorrow, what exactly. I mean, that thing, like, instead of connecting to the server, you can import all the tables into service account. It means into the workspace, and from workspace, you can connect to desktop. Just bringing copying all the tables into Power BI service, and from Power BI service also, you can connect to the like that data. Instead of connecting to direct source, we can import the tables into Power BI service, and from Power BI service, we can develop the report. It means we can connect in from Power BI desktop and can create the report out of that. Just copying the tables from servers to workspace, and from workspace, we are using directly.
Instead
That's
of
it.
bringing it to the desktop, you're copying it.
So instead of connecting from desktop to server, we are copying the files from server to workspace. It means this work into that folder, and from that folder we will link in get data. Instead of SQL server, you will select Power BI data sets. So there you will be seeing all the tables you imported, and from there we create the report. Yeah, that is simple only. You can even refer to the Google. So there are so many types in that people are not using, but simply they will ask you what is data flow. So it means the tables that are imported into Power BI service into the workspace generally. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, you can drop off. Thank you.